Hello, friends. It's me. Number 10. The Beast of Bray Road. Bray Road is a small country road in Wisconsin. It was originally a logging road used to haul timber out of the Kettle Moraine forest. This forest is said to be one of the most haunted places in America. It's also where the beastly cryptid known as the Beast of Bray Road is said to live. People have been seeing this animal since the late 1980s. It was described as looking like a wolf, but it was biped and walked on two legs. The creature is also huge, covered in dark hair, and has glowing red eyes. There are hundreds of alleged sightings of this thing in the area, with some people saying they've heard it howling at the moon. But there are no pictures and no concrete proof that the Beast of Bray Road even exists. Some believe it's a werewolf, while others say it's an escaped or illegally released chimera from the nearby Yerkes Observatory Primate Center. And some believe it could even be Bigfoot. There's really no telling what this thing is, and because nobody can prove it doesn't exist, it continues to roam the forest freely. Number 9, Devil's Den, Rock Creek Park. Located in Washington, D.C., not too far from the White House, is Rock Creek Park. This park was designed as an escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. It's meant to be a peaceful place full of lush greenery and beautiful walking trails. However, there is one place here which locals refer to as the Devil's Den. The woods here have a very strange, eerie atmosphere, almost as if you've stepped into another world. Some believe that the spirits of Native Americans who were driven from their lands by white settlers haunt these woods. Others say the spirits of criminals lurk here, as this area used to be a dumping ground for bodies. And still, others claim that the woods are haunted by the ghost of Billie Eilish, a woman who was murdered in the park back in 1976. While there is no evidence to support any of these claims, there is no denying that something sinister seems to lurk within the trees of the Devil's Den. Number 8. The Blackwood Ghost Train. In the small town of Blackwood in Australia, there is a train that runs through the woods every day. Well, at least it's supposed to. Every now and then the train disappears. For hours on end, this train will just vanish without a trace, leaving the townspeople wondering where it went and why it hasn't come back. Some say it's the work of ghosts. Locals claim that the tracks were laid down through a cemetery, disturbing the dead and causing them to rise up and stop the trains. Others say it's simply an unexplained phenomenon, though nobody can explain why it only happens in Blackwood and nowhere else. And yet others say it's a UFO. They claim that aliens land their spaceships on the train tracks, forcing the train to halt until they're ready to leave again. Whether or not there's anything sinister behind the ghost train remains a mystery. Number 7. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. Back in 1961, 9 Russian hikers set off into the Ural Mountains. They never came back. On February 2, 1961, they were found dead by a group of skiers. They had been sleeping in their tent when whatever caused their deaths had interrupted their slumber and murdered them all. Their tent had been ripped open from the inside. 2 of the hikers were found outside the tent completely naked. All of the hikers had injuries to their heads, although autopsies showed that none of the wounds were fatal. 1 girl had a missing eye. Another boy had a fractured skull. The rest of them all had various gashes, cuts, and bruises. Investigators claim that the group panicked and cut their way out of the tent during a snowstorm. They did this because they believed there was an avalanche outside. But once they were outside, they were injured by falling rocks or something else. Some say a group of armed robbers attacked the hikers and then stripped their bodies after killing them. Others say an animal dragged them out of the tent and tore their clothes off. But we may never know what really happened to these poor people. Number 6. Suicide Woods, New Jersey Pine Barrens. The New Jersey Pine Barrens are some of the largest wilderness areas left in the state. This vast secluded forest is home to many bizarre creatures and paranormal phenomena, including ghosts, demons, vampires, and werewolves. But the most terrifying thing about the Pine Barrens is the mysterious Suicide Woods. Nobody knows exactly where this place is, only that it's somewhere deep in the woods where trees seem to have a consciousness of their own. People go missing here all the time. Some say this is because they go into the woods to commit suicide, while others claim it is because the woods have a weird gravitational pull which sucks people in and holds them captive forever. Still others say it's a portal to another dimension where trees feed on human flesh. Regardless of what's really going on in Suicide Woods, one thing is certain: nobody ever comes out alive. Number 5. Goblin Valley State Park. Goblin Valley State Park in Utah got its name because of the numerous hoodoos located within its borders. Hoodoos are spire-shaped rock formations created over millions of years by wind and water erosion. Some of the hoodoos look like goblins peering over the edge of cliffs. According to legend, actual goblins sometimes emerge from the shadows to attack anyone who enters the park. The area has long been associated with witchcraft, and rumors persist that a witch named Old Woman Mogollon lives in the heart of the valley. She is said to have turned many travelers into stone. These days, park rangers tell visitors to watch their step because you never know what kind of trouble the witches and goblins might stir up. Number 4. The Hook Man. If you've ever stayed up late watching scary movies, you've probably heard of the Hook Man, also known as the Hook Neck Killer. Legend has it that he is the ghost of a man who was lynched for killing his wife with a meat hook. Now he wanders around at night looking for new victims. He always targets young couples who are parked in secluded places. The story goes that he knocks on car windows and asks to be let inside. But if you open your door, he'll reach in and stab you with his hook, then drag you out of the car and into the darkness. Of course, there's no real evidence that such a person exists. The few people who claim to have seen him have likely just seen a homeless person or some other harmless individual. Nevertheless, rumors of the Hook Man continue to persist, and many people still believe he's out there somewhere, lurking in the shadows. Number 3. The Bunnyman Bridge. The Bunnyman Bridge crosses over a train track in Fairfax County, Virginia. A local legend says that a man dressed in a bunny suit can sometimes be seen standing on the bridge. He is said to carry a hatchet and attack people who are foolish enough to pass under the bridge. It's unclear how many people the Bunnyman has killed, but it is rumored that his victims often don't survive. Some say he is the ghost of a former mental patient who escaped from an institution in the 1970s. Others say he's a killer who was put down by police officers and is now haunting the bridge to get revenge. The truth is, we don't know who the Bunnyman is, or if he even exists. But we do know that at least one teenager lost his life at the bridge. He was sitting with a friend on a pillar when he leaned over and fell. His name was Matthew, and he was only 16 years old. Number 2. The Hitchhiker. Out in the Nevada desert, on a stretch of road known as the loneliest road in America, some motorists have reported picking up hitchhikers. These aren't ordinary hitchhikers. They're ghosts. Most say they pick up the same hitchhiker twice. Once in the middle of the night when they are re-driving alone, and again when the sun comes up and there are other cars around. When they let the hitchhiker out at his destination, he thanks them and disappears. Others say the hitchhiker gets into the car and then refuses to leave. No matter how many times they ask him to get out, he'll just sit there and stare straight ahead. Eventually, the driver will get so scared that he pulls over and lets the hitchhiker out on the side of the road. Then he runs away as fast as he can. Number 1. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Much like the previous entry, there have been numerous reports of vanishing hitchhikers all across the United States. In fact, similar stories have been reported in other parts of the world as well. What makes these cases so creepy is the fact that each story is exactly the same. A driver picks up a hitchhiker, who is usually a young woman with long flowing hair. She always gets in the car without saying a word and sits quietly for a few minutes. Then she tells the driver that she wants to be let off at a specific location. Sometimes the driver recognizes the place, but other times, he has no idea where it is, but he always takes her there. When he pulls over and opens the car door, she disappears. It's like she was never even there at all. And the driver is always left scratching his head, wondering if he imagined the entire thing or if he picked up a ghost. Thanks for watching. Would you ever dare visit any of these places? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to stay tuned for more videos like these. See you next time.